As you may know, we have over 750 podcast episodes right now, and all of them are pertaining to Costa Rica. All the good news coming out of Costa Rica, and there is so many articles, topics, and thoughts about Costa Rica and why people come here and why people move here. Simply incredible. We get a lot of our ideas about podcasts from all of the online news sources here in Costa Rica, and I came across one in early September of this year, and I want to share it with you. I know if you're like me, you drink Costa Rica coffee every morning, perhaps 2 or 3 times a day when you're here, and I wanted to talk to you about the benefits of adding cinnamon to your Costa Rica coffee. Cinnamon is truly an amazing spice as it's bold, healthy, and great tasting. It's one of the few recommendations I tell people to add to their coffee when I'm asked about what sweetener to add other than sugar to their coffees. The reason I suggest cinnamon is because I think it can complement some of the notes in coffee and is healthier than adding sugar to, say, any Americano, drip brew, or espresso. Although to some it may seem unusual to add something like cinnamon to coffee, it is traditional in Eastern cultures to add spices such as cinnamon, as well as cardamom, nutmeg, and black pepper, due not only the taste, but also because of the many health benefits that these spices offer. I'm going to concentrate just on cinnamon so you can have a more complete understanding of its properties, why adding it makes the coffee good for you, and why you should at least consider adding it to your daily coffee routine. There's a lot of reasons why, so I'm going to start with, where does cinnamon come from? It first appeared on the scene, some say, as far back as 2000 BC, over 4,000 years ago, as it was used for cooking and medicinal properties. It's also one of the first products traded by the Arabs along the spice trade route. So whatever way you put it, it's been around for a long, long time. Most of the so-called true cinnamon, or otherwise known as Ceylon cinnamon, comes from the cinnamon verum trees grown in Sri Lanka. The rest comes from China, Vietnam, and Burma, according to the Food and Agriculture Organization. How is cinnamon harvested? Today, just as was done for thousands of years, farmers first remove the outer bark off the trees. Then they shave off the delicious inner bark. This is the first step in cinnamon's trip to our shelves and your kitchen. The bark is dried over the course of about a week, during which time it curls into the familiar shape of cinnamon sticks. Interesting, I didn't know that. The types of cinnamon. There are 2 types of cinnamon grown and harvested today. One is the Ceylon that I mentioned in the previous paragraph, and the other is Cassia, C-A-S-S-I-A, which is commonly sold and marketed as cinnamon in the United States. The 2 spices taste and smell very similar to one another, but they are grown and harvested in 2 very different places. Also, cinnamon and cassia are often used reciprocally, so as the true label is a bit misleading. The Ceylon cinnamon, this variety has a milder, bright, citrusy, sweeter flavor than the cinnamon you are likely used to. While this type of cinnamon is preferred in England and Mexico, up until recently it has been less popular in the United States. The cassia cinnamon, this variety has a stronger, spicier flavor than Ceylon. It's the classic cinnamon flavor that is commonly sold in the USA, and this variety actually comes from the bark of a related species, the cassia tree. How about whole or ground cinnamon? Both ground cinnamon and cinnamon sticks can last for a long time when you store them correctly. However, like storing whole bean versus ground coffee, cinnamon sticks will last longer. Also, and again like coffee, pre-ground spices lose their flavor quite quickly, and at least for taste, defeats the purpose of adding cinnamon. If you have a blade grinder, this is the perfect time to break it out and grind the cinnamon only as needed. The 14 benefits of adding cinnamon to coffee. Enhances the taste of the coffee. It increases the antioxidants that you're going to absorb through your body. Diabetics, it helps regulate blood sugar, cholesterol, and triglycerides. Good for your teeth. Keeps you from being hungry. It boosts your immune system. It's full of vitamin and nutrients. A great source of fiber, calcium, manganese, iron, and vitamin K. Helps you focus. The scent of cinnamon oil gives a strong jolt to the brain power and therefore increases focus. I did not know that. It's antimicrobial. It helps relieve congestion. It helps with weight loss. It helps with inflammatory condition, promotes blood circulation, and helps prevent and treat yeast infections. A few ways to add cinnamon to coffee. If you replace the cream and sugar with a teaspoon of cinnamon in coffee, it saves 70 calories per cup and adds a potential metabolism boost. Before you brew your coffee, fill your filter about halfway and then add cinnamon to taste. Then add the rest of the coffee and brew away. You can put several cinnamon sticks in with your whole bean coffee container or bag to give your future cups of coffee the faintest hint of cinnamon flavor. And when you make your Americano or black coffee, you can just add the cinnamon before or after pouring the coffee. Some final thoughts in this article. As I hope you can see by now, cinnamon has a wide variety of uses and benefits. When shopping for cinnamon, whether online, such as Amazon or your local supermarket or specialty store, try to buy it in stick form, since both cinnamon and cassia come like this, and ground cinnamon lasts for only about 6 months under the idealist of conditions, while whole cinnamon sticks can last for up to 2 years. Keep in mind the true cinnamon sticks are thinner and rolled into tight coils, while cassia bark is thicker and has more open coils or none at all. Well, before you heard me talk today, you didn't know this much about cinnamon, I guarantee you, but now you're a professional at it. Go pour yourself a cup of coffee, put some cinnamon in there, and think about Costa Rica. Pura Vida, thanks for listening, and as always, we appreciate your coming to us here, and we'll be here tomorrow as well. Thank you.